Welcome back, everybody, to Fight and Focus here. OVW Nightmare Rumble comes to you live at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, only on FITE. Make sure you order that now. But I am joined right now with the fanny pack kid himself, Kal Herro. I don't know if we can even see, but there's a fanny pack. I don't know if the camera can catch that or not. But you are one half of the OVW Tag Team Champions.
That's right, man. One half of the historic OVW Tag Team Championships, and it's been a dream come true.
They are historic. OVW is historic, and we were just talking to Chris Adonis, who cut his teeth here. He started here. You, obviously, everybody knows you're no stranger to Al Snow. You're no stranger to OVW.
That's right.
I wanted to talk about personally just for a second. The last time you and I were in the same place at the same time, I was doing a show for FITE, and you were holding the camera for me.
I was.
So how things have changed, right? In 2 years' time.
That was pre-mullet, pre-fanny pack, so it's quite insane how
you were just carrying things in your pockets like some sort of an animal.
I know, it was lame. It was boring.
It's unbelievable. But let's talk a little bit about you, Dustin Jackson, your tag partner. What are we doing tonight? Tell everybody what they can expect.
You can expect the fanny pack party. One of us. And if it comes down to the two of us at the end, one of us is leaving with a chance to win the OVW Heavyweight Championship. I mean, how awesome would that be to add that not just to the resume, but to the fanny pack party itself?
That would be pretty incredible, but I'm glad that you brought that up because my question for you is going to be, obviously, common sense would say, work as a team. If you, depending on what number you draw, depending on when you're in there, the two of you work as a team, but then it's down to the two of you. Have you had that conversation? Have you guys talked about that where it's just, hey, putting that friendship aside, no hard feelings when the match is over, but we're going to do everything we can to walk out victorious?
We've talked about it for quite a while now, especially with everything that's been going on here at OVW with the Dark Clouds and the whole tag team division and from winning the titles. And it was just like, hey, man, if it comes down to the two of us, I love you, brother, and I know he's got the respect for me too, but it's going to have to get down to business. And we'll take care of each other, but when it comes to that gold and that extra money that we can put food on the table, it's all about that. So he knows we're on the same page, and I honestly, as much as I hate to say it, I hope it does come down to that.
So let's talk a little bit about your career, what's been going on, because, people watching this, they're familiar with you. They've seen you on AEW. They've seen you, of course, here every week on OVW. But I mentioned just 2 years ago, you were helping me out. You were doing everything you could to break into this business. Huge respect for this business, obviously. Your dad, the great David Herro. To me, when I see you coming out now, sometimes I'm seeing this focus that doesn't necessarily match this look, and I think that that's interesting. Do you think that coming to the ring with this kind of flamboyant, we'll say new rockers style attire.
Newest rockers
attire. Do you kind of use that as like a, hey, look, I'm here to have fun, fanny pack party, it's all gonna, and then you focus in?
There's something with the outfit and the fanny pack, legit, I'm a 19-year-old kid and I wear a fanny pack. So the fanny pack kid is me.
That's real.
It's just when it comes down to getting in that ring, you dancing and doing the jitterbug, it's all fun and all, but at the end of the day, the objective is to beat your opponent. And I've learned that, and I've done a lot of dancing in the past, but until I started really keeping my eyes on the prize and just set focus and looked at what I need to do, that's when I've been the most successful. And especially winning the OVW Tag Team Championships, that night was, I felt more like a fanny pack man that night, and it was just a next level that I felt, mentally and as a human being, it was that next level I had to get to, and that night and from now on, I will continue to grow after that.
So you're a fanny pack man, is what you're saying right here.
Now,
but let's not, no new T-shirts just yet. Well, maybe,
right?
Who knows? Where could they get those T-shirts?
You can get those at thekalherro.com or fannypackkid.com, and I got fanny packs, hats, T-shirts, 8x10s, wristbands, all sorts of whamtastic stuff.
That's awesome. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about the fact that you said you're 19 years old. You're new here in the business while also kind of being around the business forever. Is there anybody that you kind of have your sights set on, maybe in OVW, maybe from OVW's rich history, of stars, anybody that you have your sights set on saying that's somebody in the future I'm going to want to get in the ring with and prove myself to? Maybe somebody you idolized growing up.
Absolutely. There's so many guys that I want to get. A lot of guys I grew up with, and like you said, like I've grown up in the sport of professional wrestling. So there's so many guys I've called uncles, and it would just be so cool to get in the ring. Guys like Scotty Too Hottie and Al Snow, and even like guys like Abyss, and most importantly Jesse Godderts. He's one guy that I want to get I was robbed of a title shot for the national title not too long ago, and I believe that in the right circumstance and in the right night, I believe I could have his number and I can catch the win.
Well, tonight might be the night to get to that next step, because tonight, if you are victorious in the Nightmare Rumble, you will have an opportunity at the OVW Heavyweight Championship. And if you're OVW Heavyweight Champion, well, that's the path you need to take to get to that national title.
Absolutely.
I want to talk about your shoulder. I mean, it's here. We got to talk about it, right?
Quite obvious, yeah.
You didn't think that maybe a different attire for tonight to kind of cover that up? Because, I mean, that's a bullseye on you.
It is, but at the same time, the guys that put me in this situation, the Dark Claws, I want them to know that even with 29 other men in this Rumble, I'm not afraid of my weakness, and I will still whoop everybody's butt in the entire Rumble with this brace on. And I want them to know, because I'm willing to bet they're going to be in there, that, hey, yeah, you did this, just wait till you see what I do to you.
Wow. All right. Last thing I want to ask you, do you feel like you're the future here? Of course, we talked about your relationship growing up around this business, growing up around Al Snow, obviously a huge Leaf Cassidy fan. Do you feel kind of a responsibility on your shoulders as one of the youngest people here, 19 years old? You go backstage, you look at all the pictures of all the people who came through these doors, who wrestled in this ring. They were once upon a time, they were the young kids. They were, who knows if they're going to make it? Who knows about this, this random guy here? We just talked about again, Chris Adonis, right? Mm-hmm. Do you look at that and say, I'm going to prove that it didn't end with that class. It didn't end in 2008. It didn't end in 2015. That it is still in 2022 going strong, and that Kal Herro is going to be the future, and people are going to look back and say, he started here in OVW?
Yeah, I mean, it's so much pressure because the rich history.
I'm trying to pump you up, right?
Yeah, I know. It's just like there's so much pressure, and it motivates you, and it makes you want to be the best you can be. And I've told like Dustin and guys like Luscious Lawrence, and even like back when Omar Amir was here before he got hurt, we'd always talk, and it was just like, we're going to be that next generation of John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, and we're not going to be them. We're going to be us. And we're going to open that next door of superstars that can change not just the wrestling world, but the world itself. And I can't wait for that day to happen. It's going to take some time. It's going to take a lot of stops and bumps in the road, but I promise you that this class right here, we're going to make it. We're going to get there.
I feel very confident that you will. Good luck tonight. Of course, it is the Nightmare Rumble taking place tonight exclusively on FITE, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Make sure you order it now. The Fanny Pack Kid, Kal Herro. Kal kept talking about those pictures. Well, earlier today, I walked around backstage and I looked at some of that, and we talked a little bit about the history of OVW. Take a look. All right, we are backstage here at OVW's Davis Arena, and I want to show you some stuff because you might be watching this and saying, I don't know who some of competitors are, right? Some of them are not. Thinking to yourself, well, then why do I want to watch? Well, because they're the future of pro wrestling. You might think that's a bold statement. Not really. If you come over here and you look at the past of Ohio Valley Wrestling, of OVW, Mickey James, Victoria, Mark Henry, the Bashams, Gail Kim, Carlito, the list goes on and on. Look around here. Check this out. Look at all these people. There's a Rob Conway, Mr. Kennedy, of course, my old pal Eugene. This guy, Batista, I don't know whatever happened to him. The stars, the future stars, the stars of tomorrow start here in OVW. And tonight in the Nightmare Rumble, you are going to see wrestling's future. So make sure you tune in 8 o'clock tonight exclusively on FITE for the Nightmare Rumble. We'll be right back with more Fight and Focus.